Today's episode of DRL is brought to you by Hella Cocktail Company. My guests don't just come to DRL for me. They also come for the cocktails. Luckily, my friends at Hella Cocktail Company have my back. These guys make amazing mixes, from Bloody Mary to Margarita to Moscow Mule. They also make cocktail bitters, my secret ingredient, and now yours too. It's easy to feel like the best bartender in town when every bottle comes with a simple recipe on it. Hella Cocktail Company, bold flavor, real ingredients, hospitality. Mixing it up since 2011. Shop the collection on Amazon Prime or use code DRL online at hellacocktail.co for free shipping. Hello, my lovely listeners. Welcome back to another episode of DRL, where we're talking everything dating, relationships, and love. I'm your host, Tennesha Wood. I am back here in the hometown, Minnesota. I bet y'all don't know that song, Cold Like Minnesota, Cold Like Minnesota. I'm here with Tori today. She's an LA native, but moved to Minnesota. How long have you been here now?
Officially 2 years.
2 years. Congrats on that.
I don't know if that's what I would say. Congrats. Thank you.
How's the adjustment?
It's definitely an adjustment coming from Southern California. The weather is huge. I don't think I'll ever get used to that. The people are different.
Different how?
I don't really know how to explain it. It's just a different culture here. Definitely more laid back, friendly to some degree, but definitely the Minnesota nice is a thing.
I always feel sad when people from other states say that, because I'm like, yeah, it's not a lie.
So I think I try to avoid those kind of people. But besides that, it's been great. I've found a good group of friends who've welcomed me, so it's been good.
What made you move here?
Job opportunity. So I'm an attorney. I'm a public defender out here in Minnesota. I think I can say that. So the opportunity was right. We have a really good office out here. So I came here and decided to see what happens. Had nothing holding me back for once in life and never really left Cali. So here I am.
Nice. Have you ever seen the show The Night Of?
No.
It's an HBO show, but it's about this guy who essentially he's like accused of murder and he gets locked up. I love like murder shows, lawyer shows. So I'm always fascinated by people in your profession. I'm like, what is that like on a daily basis?
I have to check that out. It's chaos is like the best way to describe it, but it's worth it. You have some good clients that really need the help, appreciate the help, and it makes a difference in their life. And then you have some that are just, they get something for free, so they don't appreciate it.
Now, everybody always says, of course, I didn't do it. So do you, even if you know they do it or did it, do you have to just...
Right. So my practice is really like, it's not my business to know if you did it or not. Like that's something you got to take up with your higher power. So I really try not to know if clients did it to some degree unless they volunteer that information. Like I never ask that. Sometimes it's obvious that they did it, but sometimes I just try to be like, this is what the evidence is. We can go left or we go right. And if right means trial, then this is what we're going to do. And this is our strategy. And at the end of the day, we're going to make the prosecution prove it. So it's not like you didn't do it. It's just like, let's make them prove.
Right. And they prove their case. Innocent until proven guilty.
Right. And it might be a strategy to get us like a better way to resolve the case.
I'd walk up in there like, I know you did it. Like, it's fine. I'm still going to defend you. But just like, I know you did it. But whatever.
I'm like, this is clearly you on the Target video.
Right. I see you. This is you on the video.
Target has like videos that are like sent from God. They're so clear that it's like kind of scary.
Tip for you criminals out there, don't take anything from Target.
Target is not the spot.
So how has dating been since you've been here? And is it different than California?
I feel like I've had a different experience than I have in California. I was in relationships when I was in California, so this is probably the first time that I've had no ties to anybody. My last 2 relationships were long distance,
Where did they live?
One lived in St. Louis, and then the most recent one was in Seattle. So definitely time zone difference is hard. Never will do that again.
How long were you in the relationship, the last one, before you moved here?
So I met him and we got together a month before I started law school, which was a bad idea in the timing.
How'd you meet?
We actually met online. Mm-hmm. And then he was working in LA for like weeks at a time. So we'd meet up and date while he was there. And then I didn't want to go into long distance relationships. I just got out of one. The plan was for him to move to LA. Didn't work out. And by then you're already like falling for the person. So you're kind of like,
right.
Damn, here we are. So we made it work. It was going great. Super supportive person. We're still friends to this day. He helped me a lot mentally through law school. We broke up, unfortunately, second semester of my second year, like the day before semester started. Which, honestly, I got the best grades that semester.
I can focus now.
So somehow it worked out. I took about like 10 months for myself to just kind of get my life together after that.
Why'd you guys break up?
Cheated.
He cheated?
He cheated. And it became a little more than just a cheating, but he cheated at the end of the day. I wasn't about it.
What do you mean it became a little bit more than cheating?
He's going to listen to this, of course.
Well, he did it.
Right.
He's guilty.
Right.
I don't have the video, but I know. No.
There was proof, right? So
you had proof?
I mean, she messaged me, of course.
Oh, okay. And tell us the story. What happened?
Oh, gosh.
This seems...
So she found me on Facebook, which was just kind of creepy because I was like, how did you find me, right? So she was like, I went through his page and I would
have found you too.
I saw who liked the most posts.
I'm that kind of person where if I'm trying to find something out,
you're going to figure it out.
I will figure it out. I would do something like that. I would look at every photo, like who is the common person liking all your photos?
So that's what she did. And I was like, oh, okay. But they ended up having a relationship in her mind. He says it was just sex, right? She was pregnant. Come to find out it wasn't his child, but that's like...
It could have been.
The damage is already done at that point, right? So it was not his child, thankful for him. But now he's living his like whole life and loving it, which is...
How long had it gone on with him and the other girl?
I would say about 4 or 5 months. And I remember being out there. I was out there for 4th of July. I had his phone in my hand for some reason. And she called. And I was doing something, so I hung up immediately. I should have answered the damn phone. I should have called her back.
You were with him when she called? I was
with him in the car with his phone. And
You didn't know who it was?
I did not.
Okay.
I just knew it was a female's name that I'd never heard him talk about. And I asked him, and he was like, oh, it's my sister's friend. Her phone is off right now, yada, yada, yada. So I was like, okay, I have no reason to not trust you. You
didn't suspect anything?
Never. A few months later, I started to have a feeling, but I didn't want to ask because I wasn't ready to like confront it. And like,
I think women know. So when you had that feeling, it wasn't a feeling. You already knew. You just, like you said, weren't.
I wasn't emotionally ready to accept it.
Right. What gave you that feeling?
He was kind of distant. We talked like multiple times a day. He started to just kind of get distant and not answer the phone as much, or just the conversations just weren't the same. So I kind of just noticed something was off. I didn't know if it was like other personal issues with him and his family or anything, but work issues, but it just something wasn't right.
Right.
Like I said, I knew. I did know.
So you didn't confront him until this girl got in contact with you.
Right. So she actually messaged me on Facebook, but it went to like the junk mail, so I didn't see it. So when I was with him over New Year's, I didn't see it, and I wish I would have seen it.
Well, I need Facebook to stop that feature because I've missed many messages that way. If they could just all come into my inbox, I'll filter.
Right. It would make a difference.
Right.
I mean, the timing was right? Because when she messaged me, it was during like my finals of law school, and I wouldn't have been able to focus on finals, right? I wish I would have seen it when I was with him, because it probably would have... I probably shouldn't say that, but I probably would have hit him. It would have been a different type of reaction, right?
Right.
So I saw it, and then like I ended up messaging her. She told me everything, and then I called him. Of course, he didn't answer because he was asleep. She ended up talking to him first, and then he finally called me, like admitted to everything. Never was going to tell me that she was pregnant until like...
Oh, but he already knew she was pregnant. He just wasn't sure at this point if
she was pregnant, and he knew it when I was in Seattle and I had his phone.
Wow. Oh, that makes me so mad.
I know. I want to punch him still right now.
Not that it matters, but did he ever say why? Was it just like, I needed to have sex? Like,
yeah, that's pretty much what it was. Like, he needed the affection. He needed somebody there. The goal eventually was to go to Seattle, but it just... I was a year and a half away from that point, right? And being in law school, you can't really give that person that as much physical attention when you're in a long distance because your focus is
you have to be there.
Right. So we would see each other as much as we could, but it was just impossible, especially with only one income pretty much.
Right.
So he definitely admitted that it was just, he needed the affection.
But why not just say that? You know what I'm saying? This is what I don't understand with, I'm not going to just blame it on men, but people in general. So you're in this situation, you're having a long distance relationship, you're human, you need affection, you need something different.
Shit happens.
Whatever, right?
Yeah.
So why not say that? Why not say, hey, I'm feeling lonely. I'm feeling like I'm missing this. I'm feeling like I'm missing that. And then we can have a conversation about what that looks like. Does that look like us not being in a relationship? Does that look like flexibility in this relationship? What does that look like? But it feels so unfair to me when people just make a decision about the relationship by themselves, because you didn't even give me a shot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
because I could have been open to something and we could have figured it out
right,
and made it work. Or
I could have decided this wasn't for me, and then you could do what you need to do. But in any case, it's just like going behind somebody's back and doing something is so cowardly to me. It's like it takes a real man to come at you like, hey, I'm confident in who I am and my thoughts and my wants and my needs and my desires. And like, here's what it is.
Right.
You could take it or you could not, but like, I'm giving you the opportunity and the option.
Right.
Ugh, that makes me so mad.
So I know when I found out, we had the conversation, I feel like this is the first time in my life I didn't make like a decision off emotions, and I didn't break up with him that day. I slept on it. I thought about it because I told him when we first got together, if we break up, like there's no going back. We broke up for the week and then we're going to get back together. When we're done, we're done. Mm-hmm. So I definitely slept on it, and it was like, it's not for me. There's too many factors that I didn't agree with what he did.
Right.
Like, you put my health in jeopardy. You put your health in jeopardy. You lied. You cheated. You did all this. When we could have just, like I said, had a conversation about it, and it could have been whatever it could have been. You never will know because we never had the conversation. And shout out to you, ex-bae. We're not bashing you. But
so you guys are friends now.
We are friends.
How did you come to a point of friendship? Because I assume right after there was a lot of anger.
Yeah, there was anger. We didn't talk we still kept in contact to some degree. Like, we would talk like maybe once a month, but it was very casual. And then I don't know how I saw him about a year later because I was in Seattle for an event. So I stayed with him. I went out there early and stayed with him. Of course, stuff happened. And he was like, he's just always been there for me. So he was there for me during some of the stuff, the event that I needed him for. And then I don't think I saw him again until I saw him in November, actually. Mm-hmm. So I went out there in November, and it was really cool because the dynamic of a relationship changed, and it was strictly friendship.
Yeah.
And it was just like, we just flourished, and we were having like a photo shoot, and we were just hanging out and seeing the city. And it was after like a ending of a situationship that I was like, I need a vacation. So I just hopped on the plane. I know he'd be there, and he was there. So
would you ever consider anything in the future with him?
I have thought about it before, but I think at this point in our life right now, I think we're best as friends. Later on, maybe when I'm like 50. I don't know. I don't know if we're right for each other.
Yeah.
I thought in that moment we were, but then like looking back at it, and then as far as like dating other people in the process, I don't know if we're right for each other.
So then after that breakup is when you moved out here.
So that's when I started to consider other places. And then so about a year after that is when I moved here.
How did dating start out here for you?
So I came out here and I just was like, you know what? Dive head first, right? I think I started dating because I just wanted to see the city.
Dating is a great way to explore the city. Like when you move somewhere new and like from somebody who's been there or is from there. Like I love dating for that reason. Every time I move, I'm like, I just want to meet new people. I mean, I have a boyfriend now, so it's different.
Let's not do that. Yeah, I think that was how I started. It was like, okay, dates, at least even casually, right? Just to kind of see the city, meet new people, kind of get out there. And I did a lot of that. And it was great.
What types of guys were you going on dates with?
I've been listening to your podcast, and I'm like sitting here like looking back at the things I was doing. I was like, that's the lesson I learned. I was kind of going on dates with a lot of random people that I probably shouldn't have been going on dates with.
Like who?
A lot of people have felonies.
Were these people you were meeting at work?
No, but I did get a love letter from my client the other day. But no, it's definitely not people I met at work. It's mostly dating apps or people I was meeting. I haven't really dated a lot of professionals. I don't know why.
But you're a professional.
Right.
So
I don't know.
When you're seeing their Tinder profiles, like what are you looking for on a Tinder profile or whatever site you're using?
So obviously there's like a superficial aspect to some degree, right? You got to be attracted to them. I look to see if they have more than one photo. I just don't trust one photo. Mm-hmm. I look to see if they have any type of job description, which honestly doesn't mean it's accurate.
Right.
Or up to date, or they even had that job. And I just look to see like whatever descriptions they put about themselves. If there's no description, I probably won't match with you unless you're just really attractive. But I don't think I look for anything specifically. I think that's what my problem is.
Yeah.
I'm like realizing that there's nothing specific that I'm like weeding a lot of people out. It's really based on the conversation.
When was your last date?
So I haven't dated in a while, actually. Just because I've been hanging out with the same person, which is a whole different story.
Oh, so you're in a thing.
I mean, it's not as much anymore. It's kind of like...
Well, tell me about the thing.
So I met a guy back in December. We hung out. So it's probably been the last time his date was December. Yeah, which is a while ago now.
So you and him, this has been like 9 months. Over 9 months.
Casual.
Yeah, this is 9. So that was... Wait, this is what? September? So that's like
10
months. Yeah.
Super casual, which is fine. I just enjoy the conversation, the time.
Do you want something serious and long term?
Yes, I do now. I think initially when I came here, I did not. Mm-hmm. I think I do now. I would say in the past, like, year, I do.
With this guy, the one that you met in December, did you want something serious?
I think I was just getting to know him very slowly because the last one before
How
him
slow is that's so slow?
The one before it took off too fast.
Okay.
So then I was like, slow your ass down.
Okay.
So initially I was just getting to know him, seeing him in and out, seeing him different settings. I don't know if I want anything serious with him because I don't think he's what I want long term, mm-hmm. which is another reason I need to figure out what I want long term.
Did you ever ask him that?
No. We've definitely talked about being together, but then we've also talked about why we would never work. So we have these conversations.
Wait. So you all have had conversations about, okay, like, yeah, maybe we can work towards something. Maybe we should be together. But also, here are the reasons this would never work.
Right.
So then if that's a conversation, here are the reasons this would never work, like, why even continue it?
I don't know. I think you just get, like, complacent, right? You get, like, very comfortable and you're just in it. And I'm more in the friends aspect of him now. He got hurt a couple months ago. So I've been there in that sense of just been helping him with physically getting back to normal. So I just haven't exited yet.
I don't know this guy, but I think you need to exit.
Yes.
And here's why. I think that, okay, although you're saying like, I just want to observe him in different situations. I want to see how he acts in a club. I want to see how he acts with his family. I want to see how he acts at a restaurant. I want to see like all that is not really necessary because I think as women, like our biggest superpower is just knowing. You know what I mean? Like I don't have to see you with your family to know how you act with your family because like I could see who you are. You know what I'm saying? And I think as women, like we just know. Right.
And there's a lot of, like, just saying family, there's other issues he has that I'm like, I don't know if I'm willing to deal with. I think the main reason I'm still around is because he's been very consistent. And I think a lot of men in Minnesota lack consistency.
Consistent in just what, being there?
Yes, being present. And engaging. Versus I know a lot of people, I've noticed a lot of people, like, you'll have a great date, everything will be fine. They'll text you that next week or that same day or whatever, and then you won't hear from them for months. And then they pop back up like nothing happened. I'm like, no. Versus him, he's very consistent. He's been attentive, trying to like really get to know me. But then there's, like I said, other aspects that I have no control over that he needs to work out on his own that I don't know if I want to be a part of.
But consistency is great. But if
more.
You're consistently in somebody's life or somebody's consistently in yours that you don't see something long term with, that means you're just consistently wasting time.
That is true. That is true.
How old is this man?
He's about to be 40.
Oh, he's old enough to figure out when it's time to like settle down and like what he wants.
Right.
So he's not like a young dude that's like, I'm still trying to figure it out.
No, he's definitely lived his life.
Yeah. I think you need to let this go.
Yeah, it's just a matter of when. I mean, I probably should do it now.
Are you still really just holding on for the consistency?
I think I'm really in his life now just because of the friendship aspect.
You have other friends.
That's true. I do have other friends.
So.
I don't know. I don't have no answer. I was like, she's going to rip me a new one on this one. She's going to tell me about my life.
I think you should let this go. If my mom were here because I've had a couple of podcasts in the last couple of weeks that I've been out in and out of Minnesota, and every time this is what she literally will tell like women. She's like, you shouldn't be giving to a man should be giving to you. Once he gives to you, then you can give to him, but you shouldn't just be giving and again, I don't know this man, but it sounds like, here's what I think is happening. I think then, I don't know what his injury was, but now that's sort of the thing that probably like roped you back in, where you're like, well, I like gotta help him, like I just can't leave him when he's at a low point. And then, you know what I mean? It's like this, the nurturing part of us as women comes out, where it's like, I can't just leave this poor man stranded, you know, when he's going through a rough time. What kind of woman does that make me? You know what I'm saying? But it's like, what kind of man does that make him, that for 10 months, he's been sitting on the great woman that I am?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's taken you this long to recognize that? Are you serious? Like,
yeah, that's true. You
should have been seeing my greatness. It doesn't, and especially now that he's had this injury, and you've been there consistently for him, and this still isn't a wake up for him.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to say that he hasn't recognized it. I just don't know I think he might realize I'm not the person for him in that relationship aspect, but I think he wants to maintain the friendship. Which, again, I do have friends.
Yeah.
I don't even have anything to say.
I think you need to let that one go.
Probably.
Can I see your Tinder profile?
Sure. I actually don't think I even have anything written.
Wrong answer.
I expect them to have something written, and I have nothing written. I'm just really bad about talking about myself.
Okay, so you have good pictures. You literally have nothing about yourself.
I don't know what to say.
Say who you are and what you're looking for. Like, what are you looking for?
I think I need to figure out what I'm looking for.
What are you looking for? Do you want a long-term relationship? Do you want a family? It's fine if not.
Yes,
but
I do.
Do you just want somebody to hang out with and go do fun stuff with? Like,
I think I want all of the above, right? I think I just initially want to meet somebody and see where it can go.
And why wouldn't you put your job title?
I don't want people to know where I work, because I've gone on dates with people who find out what I do, and then they go into like 1,000,001 questions about legal ass questions.
So I got a case. I'm just wondering.
Or like divorce cases or child support, or like, I'm just like, for one, I didn't even know you were married and had kids.
Well, that's a good way to find out information, it seems. Why don't you at least just put attorney? That's like very basic in general.
I don't know.
But the reason I think you should put that is because, I mean, you don't have to put like public defender for. Like, you could just put attorney, but like it might attract a more professional type of man.
That's true.
Versus like having nothing, then it's like, sometimes I think men almost like they're going to want to measure up to that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, girl.
So if you put attorney, they might be like, oh, yeah, that might not be for me because like I ain't really got none of my shit together.
I think men don't think like that. The ones I've encountered, they're just like, oh, you're an attorney. Oh, good.
I got some questions.
Yeah. Not only that, they're just like, unfortunately, like I said, they don't measure up, and they know they don't measure up, but they don't make the effort to like measure up.
They shouldn't have to. They shouldn't have to make the effort to measure up.
Just already.
If they don't measure up,
don't even respond.
That's okay. That's cool. We're at different places, and you're something different than what I want. I'm not going to now force you to be like, hey, you should go to law school. And then like, no, like you are who you are, and that's okay. And I'm sure there's somebody for you and that wants you. And I'm not in any way suggesting like you should solely be judging men on their jobs or what they do for a living. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying if that is something you desire, to have somebody that has a professional job or has certain career goals, like you should put that.
That's a good point.
And put that in your profile. Like, hey, would love somebody that's also a professional and working towards XYZ. I would like something long-term, you know, so people aren't mistaken. Because right now it just sort of seems like, I'll holler.
I'm just here.
But they're literally not going off of anything but your looks. Because that's all there is to go on in your profile. True. But I think you should just be upfront. And guess what? It's going to scare some men away. Like some men are going to be like, did she just say she's trying to get married? No, thanks. And they'll keep swiping.
And that's not the person for
me.
And
that's okay.
Right.
But like just having nothing, it's like just throwing spaghetti at the wall. And it's just like, you're going to get the most random. Yeah.
Oh, girl. The most random stuff.
What's the most like random date you ever had?
I talk about this on my blog, actually. So I had a date. It was great. We're still friends now. We drank way too much. We went out down to Crave, downtown. I went to the bathroom, came back out, and he was gone. And I'm like calling him, no answer. So I have to walk home. I'm so drunk, which was a really bad idea. It was Labor Day, so it was like this time 2 years ago. So drunk. Thankfully, I lived 4 blocks away. I just remember walking, and people were like, "Are you okay?" Because I was like stumbling.
So wait, did he walk out on the bill as well?
No. He paid bills.
And he just left?
This was like bar number 4 of the night.
Okay.
So I get home. I remember just like waking up with a loaf of bread in my bed. So I was trying to soak up alcohol and like 10 missed calls and text messages. He got kicked out the bar because he was so drunk and he was just so embarrassed that he kind of just couldn't handle talking to me.
So he couldn't call you and say that? Like he couldn't call you and be like, "Hey, my bad. Sorry, I had to go. I know."
He's also like told me plenty of times like I intimidate him, and he's very like scared to go on dates or talk to me because he's just intimidated and like very pressured. I don't know why, because I don't put pressure on him.
What does he say he's intimidated about?
I don't know. I think he just liked me more than... I don't know what he liked me, because that was the first time I met him.
But
and he was just very pressured in his own pressure. So he just couldn't face me, so he left me at the bar.
That literally makes no sense to me.
Oh, girl.
That literally makes no sense.
The worst part about it was I gave him another chance and met up with him the next day. We went out to eat, and he was drunk as hell. And drank
from
more.
The night before, or this was still drinking?
A new
drunk.
Day of drunk. And I call him JMO in my blog because that's what we drank all night. And then he drank like another fifth of JMO on his own, and then drank at the bar. I was like, oh, this is not a person for me romantically, but this is my drinking partner now. But
again, don't you have other friends?
I mean, you come here and I don't know anybody.
Okay, at the time you didn't know anybody.
Right. So this was 2 years ago.
But still, okay, even on a friendship level. So even if we're just like, okay, this isn't a romantic partner for me, but this is a friend. I would be pissed at a friend, man, woman, child, anybody who calls themselves my friend, and you just like left me. Like,
right.
First of all, that's just rude.
Oh yeah. No,
Second of all, what about my personal safety? Like, you didn't then make sure I got home after you left. Like, you're not a friend if you're not at least at the bare minimum basic level concerned about my personal safety.
I think he learned, because every time I met up with him after that, we would meet downtown or I would see him out. He would make sure I got home. He would walk me home. He would call and make sure I got home. Like, so he definitely was like, I think it was like a one-time thing, I hope, for him. I hope he doesn't do that with anybody else. Because it was terrible.
At least he paid. I'll give him that. At least you didn't come back and they were like, "Here's the bill, ma'am."
Right. I went on a date in December with somebody. Cool guy. Never told me he had kids. Found out he had 4.
That's a lot of kids to not speak about.
Right. And why are you like ashamed of your kids?
So did he have it anywhere like on his social profiles?
No. I think he does now. He just casually like brought it up.
On that date?
On that first date.
Okay.
Yeah. He casually brought it up over dinner. Then he also casually brought up how his ex-wife cheated on him. And he called ICE on the person. Got the guy deported. And I was like, this is the end of the dates because you're a shitty person.
On one hand, I'm like, that's extreme. On another hand, I'm like, cheat on me, will you?
And this was like 6 years ago, before ICE was like in our faces.
Right.
So I'm like, you went out and like Googled how to deport somebody. And as an attorney, I'm like, oh no. I couldn't. And he was a person of color. He was half Indian, right? Mm-hmm. It's from New York. So I'm like, you've experienced this kind of stuff and you still get somebody deported? He's like, well, he's just going to London. I'm like, that doesn't matter. Right. Well, it's not the worst place to go. It's not the worst place to go, but you are just terrible.
But why was she cheating?
I mean, take that up with her, not him.
Did he know she was married?
Yeah. He was like the PCA for their child.
No.
So it was shady. It was all shady.
What's the best date you've been on? It's Minnesota, so some white boy had to have offered to take you fishing.
I've never dated out of my race.
Ever.
Especially
even on a date.
Never. I'm not opposed to it. Just haven't done it.
Have any white guys asked you out?
I mean, I get white guys approach me online, but they're very inappropriate. It's not like...
Let's go out. Okay.
Yeah. It's like a fetish to them to some degree, and I'm like, I'm not here for that.
Got it.
So I'm not opposed to it. I don't know if I could date a white boy long term.
Why?
I don't know. I just don't know. I hate to say this, but they don't understand our struggle. They won't understand certain things I say. I think I could date another person of color long term.
Right.
And it's like, I don't know. Maybe because I've never done it. Maybe if I try it, this is the place to try it, I feel like.
This is the place to try it.
This is the place to try it.
I think it's at least worth a date. There are certain races that I never went on a date on. Not on purpose. It just never happened. Yeah. But now I'm like, man, I really wish I would have went out with an Asian guy at some point.
Just to try it, yeah.
Just to see. Like, just to explore. Just to figure it out.
Yeah. No, definitely need to add that to the
repertoire.
I did not have like a hot girl summer at all. So I did not get to go out and enjoy summer. So I need to add that to like my fall to-do list.
So if you had to define it, like in a sentence, how do you see your romantic future and what do you want?
What do I want?
Yeah, like what's in your heart?
Want some consistency, stability, a supportive partner. I want like a best friend, right? Like you want somebody that you can just be done with, to get up and be professional with, and just be at galas and be cute and like professional, and you guys be that couple, but to the point like we can go fishing or we can go, which is not something I do. I have fished since I've been out here, but to just literally like dirt bike riding or just anything, just painting in the house or just watching Love After Lockup, which is like one of my favorite shows.
I haven't seen that. What's it on?
We TV.
It's like
crazy.
It's the real show, like
I don't understand this.
A documentary. Okay.
So Love After Lockup or 90 Day Fiancé is like just sit in the bed and just watch that. It's like what I want, but I definitely want somebody. The support is a huge thing for me.
And in what way do you like the support?
Like every aspect, right? Like again, it's like your partner. So your partner in crime that's like got your back, is hyping you up throughout the day. Who's it could be financial support, emotional support, mental support, or just being present in like that supportive aspect. I definitely believe people should take that love language test.
Mm-hmm. What's your love language?
Quality time. Mm-hmm. By far, quality time. Oh, speaking of, he just texted me.
Who just texted you?
He said I tried calling.
Wait, who just texted you?
The casual 10 months.
No. Oh. Tell him. Hold on. This is what you text back. What is this? Do you want something further or nah?
New number, who this, right? I'm sorry, I really don't talk like that.
Who this?
I think acts of service is my other one. Gifts is definitely like the last thing. Like I don't care about stuff like that. I definitely need quality time. And quality time could really just be like we're sitting on the couch watching TV.
Not on our phones.
I don't even mind if we're on our phones to some degree.
I hate that. To me, like that's not quality time. Like me and my boyfriend sort of constantly have this disagreement. But quality time to me is completely undivided. So if you're giving me your time, I'd rather have 10 minutes of your completely undivided attention where you're doing nothing else, you're thinking about nothing else, you're talking to no one else, than a full day of you on and off of your phone. So I'd rather somebody say to me, you know, today I can give you 10 minutes. And in that 10 minutes, I am your entire world.
That makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? But if you can't don't promise me a full day and then you're on the phone, you're thinking about this, you're doing that. Like quality time is just that. It's quality between you and I, not quantity. It's quality time. They don't call it quantity time. Yeah. But I spent a whole day with you. No, that's quantity time. I want quality time.
I guess like quality time / like your presence.
Yeah.
So it's like you being present doesn't mean that you're not on your phone, but you just being there and I can just like, hey, did you see that or something? You know what I mean?
I'm less about that, I realized. Like, that's less important to me. And again, only because of my boyfriend and I constantly kind of go back and forth with this. Yeah. But he's like, we've been around each other all day. And to me, I'm like, I like my solo time anyway. Right. So I'm like, if I'm actually not spending quality time with you, I'd rather just... really count, yeah. I'd rather actually just chill by myself. Like, I like my own company, so...
Yeah. Oh, solo time is so important. So important.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, man.
Sometimes I just spend, like, hours or even days alone. And people are like, so what were you doing? I'm like, I don't really know. Just sort of hanging out with me. I don't know. Like, I didn't have anything specific
just
that I was doing.
with myself.
Yeah.
I did have one really good date that turned into a situationship. So he definitely did not measure up. And I hate to say that, but like he admitted to it, right? So we went on a date in like February. Everything was great date. He was telling me stuff that I believed to be true. So I had no reason to not trust what he was saying. I didn't see him for like 2 months, and then we like met up again. Didn't see him again for like from April to August, so whatever those months are, 4 months. And then we just started like really hanging out. Then I started finding out stuff he was telling me about himself, profession, like living situation just wasn't what it was. So he told me he was living with roommates. He told me he DJs, works at a radio station, which he actually did. He does DJ like casually for like a company and does weddings. And that he was working like a cleaning business with somebody, like owning a cleaning business. And then he just bought this new car, right? Not that I care about the car, but I remember him mentioning that. Coming to find out, it's baby mama's car. Lived with baby mama.
That was his roommate.
Yeah. And then the cleaning company, I think he did, but baby mama made him get out of it. So that was not true. And the other stuff was just casual. He had a lot of kids.
How many's a lot? 3
biologically, 4 that he like took care of. So child support was huge chunk out of his check financially.
If you already have 3 kids though on your own, why
add another?
Right.
Yeah, girl. And then you got, I hate to say, I got digmatized.
By that guy?
I got digmatized, and that's, yes.
But why even, okay.
Why even open myself up to that?
It's the same thing that I'm saying about like, you have friends. Like, you're a beautiful woman. You can just be like, okay, let's just
have a casual relationship.
Yeah. So there's no reason. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't need to get that from you.
So that's what it kind of was, right? And then it just started into us hanging out every weekend to the point of him staying all weekend.
Because he didn't want to go to his roommate's, in quotes, house.
Right. And it was like fun for the moment. And I knew it was just a moment thing. We've talked, which I should have did. He wanted to just not date anybody else, which I agreed to. But I wouldn't be in a relationship with him because I knew, and I told him, like, there's more in life you need to do before I can commit to you. And financially was one thing, right? Like, you need to get a better job. You need to be more self-sustainable. Like, you got to be able to take care of yourself.
No, he doesn't.
Right, because everybody else is doing it for him.
No, I'm saying, like, he doesn't need to change who he is.
That's true.
To be with you.
He don't need to be with him.
He doesn't owe you that.
That is true.
When you met him, he had the job he had, and you found that out. He had the kids he had the house and the roommate that he had. He doesn't need to change that for you. He doesn't owe you that.
That is true.
All you need to say is this a situation I'm on board with? Is this something I want? Yes or no? If it's not, keep it moving.
That's true.
You don't owe him anything, and he doesn't owe you anything. So it's like you can't take somebody and be like, you're cool, but let's just change aspects 1 through 5, and we'll work on 6, and then we'll see. Like, but let's just kind of keep it casual until then. Let's keep a friendship. Let's keep the sex. Like, no, you're just not for me. If I have to change all that,
that's a lot.
Like, it's just.
And I never told him like he needed to change that because I'm not the person to come make you change things, right? Like, you are who you are, like you said. But I just knew me personally could not commit to somebody in that aspect. So I was just enjoying it. But I think it got a little too deep. I think we got a little in too deep.
Like, you started actually liking him?
Yeah, no, I definitely liked him. I had a friend even telling me we should move in together. And I was like, oh, hell no. For one, I just met this guy. I'm not moving in with him. My dad would kill me. My dad would fly out here and kill me. My dad met him, too. My dad was like, nah. He helped me move. So my dad was out here helping me move, too, right? So this was like the beginning. I remember my dad, when he left, he was like, I'm worried about you. I need to come visit you more often. I'm worried about you. And he was talking about that guy specifically. So then his birthday came around. We celebrated his birthday. My friends got together with his friends, and we all met. It was like a great night. The next day, I took him home, which is another thing. He didn't have a car, so why am I driving?
Right.
And Megan Thee Stallion said it perfectly. Why are you riding on a nigga who's asking for a ride?
Ooh.
And I was like, damn, Megan.
Gem.
Yeah, she came at me with that. When I saw that, I was like, damn. But so I took him home that next day. I never saw him again. He like literally ghosted me. I'm like, how do I get? I mean, I've got ghosted before, but
how are you ghosting me? From the passenger seat of my car.
Right.
How are you poof and be gone from my car?
Right. Yeah. So he ghosted me. And that's how I ended up.
Did you ever try to contact him again?
No, like he messaged me and was like, hey, we need to talk. And I was like, okay, cool. Like I'm available. We'll talk here. Talk now. Because I knew something was up, right? Because some girl had posted on his Facebook and it was just a little suspect.
But he was still living with his baby's mom at this point.
Which is suspect. Yes.
That alone is like...
He's suspect. Yes.
Like you didn't even need the girl on the Facebook.
Well, that was like confirmation. I was like, nah, this ain't gonna work. So then I was like, he's like, we need to talk. And then he never answered the phone, never talked. And then he hits me up the day before Valentine's Day of this year. Right. And I'm like... And says what? He was like, can we meet up? And I'm like, for what? I want to apologize. I'm like, you know my phone number?
You can...
And not only that, whatever you're messaging me on right now, you can just tell me that.
Continue to message me what you'd like
right.
to
I'm like, I'm not going to release my gas.
To come pick you up.
Right. So he ended up calling me and he apologized and pretty much told me what I thought it was, which he had told me before. He told me he knew he wasn't enough for me. And kind of felt inadequate.
Here's what I would like men to do. If you meet somebody and you feel like this woman is too good for me, I am not enough, I need to get my stuff together.
Just go that way.
Take some time to do that, but don't infiltrate and make somebody like you and fall in love with you if truly you know that you're not there yet. Right. Just walk away. Take some time. If that person's still there when you get back, great. But I hate it when somebody knows that like I don't measure up. And again, I'm not just talking about careers. I'm not talking about
right. No, there's definitely
just overall and generally just walk away. Like why do that to a person?
Right.
I don't get that.
Yeah, girl.
You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't go to a job right now that I'm completely underqualified for. And
you don't even have a resume for it.
I don't have the resume. I don't have the skill set. I don't have any of it. And like to fail somebody else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like if I thought, well, I'm almost there. Or maybe like I could learn these couple things on the job because I got most of the stuff already. I'll try it.
In Excel, but I can get proficient real quick. Yeah.
But if I just have none of the skills, like I'm like, you know what? I should be a brain surgeon. I like brains. I think I could be good at that. I'm not going to screw...
I like to pick them, right? Like
right. I'm not literally going to go screw somebody else's head up because, like, I need that for my own self-esteem in that moment. Like, that's wrong. Right. Like, it's really just wrong.
Yeah.
And now, if I really want that, or if I really want to do that, I could go back to school. I could learn. I could get proficient. You know what I'm saying? I could take the steps to get there, but it's unfair to just do that.
Yeah.
So I don't like that.
I agree.
But on the same tone, like, you need to know when it's like... You're not proficient in Tori. Like, you have none of the skills.
And I need to recognize that, definitely.
And so you need to step back. And if you want to take the time and go do that, get at me later. Great. But, like, for now, like, I need somebody that can actually do this job.
Right. Because I was like, is she going to ask me I was wondering, like, thinking about stuff, right? Coming to prepare for this podcast. I'm like, she's going to ask me what I think about dating in Minnesota, right? And my reaction is to say it's trash. Mm-hmm. Which I want to say dating in general is trash. But then I thought about it and I'm like, 20% of that trash is me. Right? Because I'm like, I realize I don't date with a purpose.
Yeah.
I'm not going out there asking specific questions or weeding out specific people. I'm just really just out here. Initially, I was just out here like in these streets just trying to have a good time.
Right.
And just see the city, which I was successful at. Right? Like I saw a lot of places. I'm glad I got to see some of those places. It was to the point where I was like, there was 1 week I went on like 5 dates or like 2 in a day. And it was really bad because I would like have a date outfit.
Oh, there's a date outfit. Yes.
So I'm like, I'm not wasting outfits.
No, nor should you. It's like, I did my hair, I did my makeup, the whole outfit. Like if I can get 2 to 3 dates out of this, why not?
Right. Right. So that was definitely a thing. So I realized I'm not like going out here, like, not that I have to find the right person or make a list of what I want, but I'm like, there's certain qualities of people that I gravitate to and certain qualities I want long term. And I need to figure out what those are and not waste my time if those aren't present.
Right.
So I was like, I want to say like 10% is trash, but like, I'm really like 20% trash.
Yeah. Because of your lack of clarity.
Yeah.
Like you just have to be clear. Like how did you end up in law school? Like you knew you wanted to do something with the law.
Right.
Like you know what I mean? Like you just didn't. Right. Because you could have went to med school, you could have went to grad school for anything else, but you were specific in what you wanted to do and your purpose and what you were looking for. So that's how you ended up there. And that's the same approach you have to dating, I think, is just, what do I want? And how do I let people know who I am and what I want?
Yeah.
That's really it. I think once you're clear on that, it'll clear out 50% of the trash at least.
Right.
I mean, there'll still be some trash sliding in your DM. Don't get me wrong.
You gotta, those are the slick trash. Yeah.
Right. But at least just have clarity on it.
Yeah.
And like, know what you want, know that you deserve it, and get it.
Yeah, I need to. I also want to like shoot my shot more.
Do you ever approach men?
Not often. I have probably once since I've been here. There's a guy that works at a bar I like to go to. So I left my number on the receipt. Not expecting to still be there when he picked up the receipts.
Oh, awkward.
So awkward. So it's weird because, right, we've gone to this bar. I've taken my parents to this bar. So my mom has had conversations with this guy. My mom loves this guy. So then a few months later, I was like, let me just shoot my shot and leave my phone number.
Did you leave a note with it or just your number?
Just my name and number. And I was still at the table when he picked up the receipt.
With your parents?
No, I was with my friends.
Okay.
No, this was like 2 months later. And thankfully, like the response was, he's like, all right, I'll call you later. Like, so it was, and I've gone on a few dates with him.
Okay.
He's not for me. He's so inconsistent. Like,
And you know that. So now.
Right. And he'll like try to engage in conversation. Like he probably texted me a few months ago and was like, let's meet up. Let's go to breakfast or something. I'll call you when I get out the shower. And I've not heard from him since. I've seen him since then because I've gone to the bar. But that, like, it's just weird. And then I was like, damn, I can't take other men to this bar. Because I've taken other men there in like a friendship level and like as a group of people, and he is so rude.
So his inconsistency is partly your fault because
That's it.
when he's inconsistent, so if me and you are supposed to meet up for breakfast and then I say, I'll text you when I get out the shower, I'll text you a place or wherever, and then I never hear from you, likely I'm going to call you or text you and be like, so that's not how I do friendship.
Yeah, that's true.
That was very rude. What was your reason? Did somebody die? Because that's really the only excuse at this point for you to disrespect me like that.
Yeah.
So
I just let it go and I shouldn't. Yeah. I should check.
So then that tells him, well, that's okay. I'll call back when I want to call back. I'll text when I want to text. We're like, you have to set the standard and be like, no, that's not how I do. This is not, I'm dating you respect. This is not, I want something romantic. This is not, let's get married. This is just general respect. People respect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like just people, not even like my good friends, just people.
That's another thing. Like there's a lot of, I need someone that's very considerate. I think I'm pretty considerate, and I've noticed a lot of, I just feel like some men are inconsiderate, and it's not that they're inconsiderate. I just don't think they know the things they should do, which I can't say that about all men because that's not true. Because a lot of men are considerate and very thoughtful, and they have normal reactions to stuff. I think the men I'm picking are just...
What ways are they inconsiderate?
Like that, like just not responding or like...
That's not inconsiderate. That's disrespectful.
Oh, okay.
Inconsiderate to me is like... Oh, I had a boyfriend once do this and I just rammed into him, but he came over to my house maybe at like 9 a.m. He came over to my house and he showed up with coffee. He had a coffee in his hand. And I said,
I didn't.
And I said, why didn't you get me a coffee? And he said, I didn't know if you wanted coffee. I said, well, you could have asked me. You could have called me. You could have texted me. Or you could have just got it because it's $2.
And you've seen me drink coffee.
And like, before. It's the morning time. I'm a human being just like you. You know I like coffee. Chances are I would have wanted coffee. Yeah. That's not considerate and thinking about yourself. Just blowing me off completely, that's disrespectful.
That's true.
Actually, I think the coffee thing was disrespectful too. Why wouldn't you just get me some? But
everybody likes coffee.
Right. I've had to learn this a lot, but like men aren't mind readers.
No.
And you have to be very, very, very overly clear about what it is that you want.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So everybody's different. And I think what people generally do in terms of like how they act in their relationships and the considerate things that they do or don't do is just what they remember from the last relationship. Like I'll teach you specifically the little things that I like that you might not know, but I can't teach you basic respect.
No.
You needed to have learned that, you know, around age 1.
And that's the disconnect for sure. Like,
right.
Yeah, you got a basic human respect.
Yeah. And when you're not seeing that, like I can't take the time to teach it to you. You just got to be like, okay, you don't get it. You don't understand respect.
I think I'm pretty bad. I won't tell them like, hey, that's not cool. That's not right. I just won't respond.
Why not tell them?
I don't know. I don't know if it's like the confrontation aspect, which obviously as an attorney, I like confrontation.
My whole job is confronting the other side.
I love confrontation, but I don't know. I think men are sensitive. So I think I'm just like trying not to hurt their feelings, but honestly, I shouldn't care.
But I don't care. If you're disrespecting me, what do your feelings matter at that point?
Yeah.
I think a mistake that men and women make, this is why I stopped ghosting. I used to be a pretty big ghoster. Like if I went on like a date or 2 dates and I was just like, yeah, I'm not feeling that, I just wouldn't answer my phone or I wouldn't text back. And I realized that was really disrespectful and mean because it didn't even let people know what I was thinking or what happened. Right. And so I remember one time I went on a date, and this shouldn't have pissed me off as much as it did, but it pissed me off so much that I couldn't get over it. But this guy, we ordered these, you know what ackee and saltfish is?
No.
Okay. It's a Jamaican dish. Ackee is like it's a vegetable. It has a texture of
you said it in saltfish?
Yeah.
I literally saw somebody on my Instagram talking about saltfish.
Yeah. It's like it's like a fish that's preserved using salt. Like they salt it, and so it's preserved. And then when you make it, you soak it, and then kind of get all the salt out. And generally, Jamaicans eat it with ackee, which is it's like a yellow vegetable, and it opens up, and then you cook it, and it has sort of like the consistency and the look of eggs.
Okay.
But anyway, this Jamaican restaurant in New York had these ackee and saltfish tostones. So they were like, like an empanada type thing. Mm-hmm. And we had gotten them for the appetizer. And I think, let's say like 5 or somewhere along there came in, like 5 little tostones. And I had like 1, and then he like ate all the rest of them. And I'm fine with just 1. But like, at least say like, do you want the last one? And then he did a couple other things. Like I was wearing heels. I knew he had driven there. And in New York, like most people take the train, so it's fine. I'm not like expecting you to like come pick me up or anything like that. But then he wasn't like, let me walk you to your train. So it was just a lot of things where I was just like, not for me.
See, stuff like that I look for, like, right? If you don't open my door, it's a problem. If you let me walk on the outside, it's not going to date number 2. And it's like, I shouldn't be looking for stuff like that.
Yeah, it's not like, you know what I'm saying? But
it's not the end of the world. That's something men could be taught.
Right. And for him, though, I was just like, I got a stingy vibe from him just generally, and I didn't like that vibe. I don't like cheap men. If there's one thing I don't like, it's a cheap man. I will run like
that reminds me of a date
for the hills. I will just run. So after that, I just never called him back, never texted him back, and he had like texted me and called me, and I just ghosted him. I was just like, not for me. And now I did a disservice to the next woman.
Yeah.
By doing that.
I can see
because
that.
What I should have done, I shouldn't go out with him again. I don't owe him that. He's not the type for me. I saw some stingy behavior there I didn't like. So yeah, I should run. But I should have also said, hey, what I didn't like about our date or why I'm not going out with you again is because of X, Y, and Z. I thought it was inconsiderate, and that's not something that I want in a partner. So thanks.
I had one person
thanks and good luck. What?
Like, give me a reason.
And isn't it refreshing? Like, yeah, it kind of hurts your feelings.
No, I laughed at it, but I was like, I appreciate it and cool. Have a great day.
Yeah. What happened on that
So
date?
first day, this guy was not my normal.
How so?
Probably because he was professional, had a real job.
So then I didn't like him? No.
No, I gave him a chance, right? He's a little corny, but I was like, you know what? Yeah, probably need corny. Mm-hmm. Conversation was great. He was cool, good looking. So first date was great. Second date we went out. It was great. And I'm not the one to like order the most expensive thing. I try not to order alcohol on dates because I'm just like, if they order alcohol, then I'll order alcohol, right? I'm not trying to like overspend whatever your budget is.
Right.
So second date's great. I get a text message from him and was like,
after the second date?
Yeah, and was like, I really like you. I really enjoy our date, but you didn't even offer to pay for the second date. So it shows me that you are a stingy person and don't give. And you only like to receive. And I'm like, okay, that's definitely not me at all. And I was like, just because I did not offer to pay for the second date makes me stingy? Like, no, to me, I feel like men, not all the time, right? Especially if you're in a relationship, it's give and take. I pay for dates now sometimes.
Right.
If I've been dating you for a little bit. But I feel like second date you should still be paying for.
You did something that he was like, I don't like that.
Right.
That's not a thing that I want in a person that I date. And then he was vocal about that.
Yeah. So I appreciate it.
And
I
told
told him
you.
I told him thank you.
And you saw it differently. You were like, that's not how I think I am. But, you know, I think at this stage in the date, like, yeah, I would like you to pay. And then now everybody knows where it's at.
Right.
Everybody knows. I feel like our qualities don't match or aren't congruent with each other.
Right.
And therefore, we can both move on. And nobody is sitting at home like,
yeah, why?
Well, what happened? Like,
yeah.
I thought things were good. I thought, da, da, da.
And then he texted me 6 months later.
And said what? I'm ready to take you on a third date if you pay.
He said something, and then he asked me for a photo. I was like, bye. Bye. I don't even want to know what you're doing.
He should have just left it at where it was.
Yeah.
But up until then, I liked.
Yeah,
that.
I told him, I was like, thank you. I had a good time. I appreciate you even taking the time to say this. I don't agree with what you're saying.
Right.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
And we go our separate ways, and I knew you were corny anyway.
So tell us about your blog.
So I started a blog. I had been talking to a coworker about it just because I go and tell them about my random dates. It's really a blog just documenting the date and kind of just reviewing the place we went and reviewing the date. It's called landof10,000dates.com.
That's because Minnesota's land of 10,000 lakes. That's what
Right.
we're known for.
So yeah, that's pretty much what it is. So I've just talked about a couple of dates so far, kind of took a break from it since I've been casually seeing this person.
Break that off. Now. Text him now.
That timing was like crazy.
Interesting how the universe makes that
Yeah.
happen, right?
Yeah, that was a little weird. So it's just kind of just blogging about my experiences out here and coming from the West Coast and just talking about the difference and the different dynamics of dating as a Black professional woman in the Midwest and the type of dates I'm going on and just the craziness that's been going on. And I've posted some of the stuff of like the messages I get, and they're just crazy. I get people that message me and was like, I saw you in court today. Or I got one that said, I saw you in jail. Well, I was in jail, and I was like, this is creepy.
Wait, how are you texting me?
Right. And I remember him too. I saw him, so I was like, this too. No, I gotta block you. Yeah, and they would tell me like what courtroom I was in.
Wait, how are they finding you?
They just see me. Oh, I don't know.
Like they message you on like Instagram or something?
No, so they'll actually message me on Plenty of Fish is where I get most of like the creeps,
got it.
which again is like the hood of
Right.
the dating sites. I had this one guy that been messaging me forever, right? Like no responses. And then I walk into court one day and I'm like, this guy looks really familiar.
Where do I know him from?
So I'm going to read you the message he sent me. So he's like, that's where I seen you from the courtroom. Now I know why you've been neglecting me. You think it's a criminal. LOL. It's just a DUI, beautiful. And when I just saw you come into the courtroom, I lit up like, there's that fine ass woman right there. LOL.
It's just a DUI.
And I'm like, he has a record.
Wow.
So I'm like, I'm glad I responded, but then it's like, kind of like, I don't like these people know where I'm at.
Get off Plenty of Fish.
I know. It's kind of like entertainment purposes at this point, but it's still like a little, probably not the safest thing.
Are you on Bumble at all?
I have started a Bumble. I don't think I love Bumble.
Before you get on any site, I think you should really spend some time figuring out what you want.
Yeah.
And what you bring to the table and what you expect that a man is going to bring to the table.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
That's what I think you should start by doing.
Okay.
And also in the interim, get off Plenty of Fish.
Yeah. Just delete that probably today.
Right. So what's next for you?
I don't know. I'm trying to decide if I'm staying in Minnesota.
You might leave
I might leave.
and go where?
I've been thinking of Houston. I hope my job doesn't hear this, but I've been thinking about Houston. I've been thinking about Houston for years. I just don't know. I just don't know what's next. Like,
What do you want to be next?
I don't know. That's the thing. I'm just like, you like finally you have this goal in life and you finally get to where you're at, and now you're like, wait, I've been working so hard to get here, and now I'm here, and I'm like,
Now what?
Now what? So now what, I guess, is trying to be in the place that I really see myself settling down for long term, because this moving stuff is not fun.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm going to be here. I like Minnesota. The winters are just very hard to get through. Mm-hmm. Next, so I guess would be, find somebody that I can see, not necessarily marriage, but something I can grow into with somebody. and go from there. But first is, I guess, write this list of what I want and what I don't want, what I need, and what I bring. Mm-hmm. I might have to do that today.
And then have everything in your life reflect that.
Yeah.
So whether that be when you meet somebody, when you go out with somebody, your profile, like, people should know.
Yeah. Yeah, 'cause my profile is just literally me. Just my face.
So where can people reach you and check out your blog?
So my blog is landof10,000dates.com. My personal IG is Tori Lynn. So it's TORIILYNN_. And then the blog, the IG for Land of 10,000 Dates is Land of 10,000 Dates _ It's going to get revamped really soon.
Did somebody take the regular without the underscore? Is that why there's no underscore? Really?
There's like some like random couple
going
on dates all around the Twin Cities and like documenting their dates.
Oh, cute.
Which is cute.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming on and sharing all about your dates.
Thank you. I didn't think I had that much to talk about. But.
And I hope that you make that list and figure out what you want and then go out and get that because you deserve it.
I will. Thank you.
And thank you guys so much for listening today. Please reach out to me at Tennesha Wood on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter and let me know what you think of today's show. And until next time, wish me love. Hello again, my lovely listeners. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode of DRL. If you like the show, be sure to go on iTunes and leave a rating and also write a review. And don't forget to share with your friends and tell them all about DRL. Thank you so much for supporting.